Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, a show that examines all aspects of sexuality, from physical to emotional to spiritual. Join our hosts as they discuss age-old questions, common misconceptions, and the latest topics surrounding sex. They'll tackle topics about sexuality from the complicated to the hilarious and everything in between. GSMC Sex Podcast is your show for all of your questions about sex, even some you might not have thought of yet.
Welcome to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. First topic of my show today is going to be penis rings, or better known as cock rings, and how to buy and use them. Now, ladies, we all want our men to be able to perform and sustain an erection, but most of all, we don't want them to come too soon. One of the many positives to a cock ring would be for that rings in. Now, obviously some men like what they feel like, and other men don't. But if this is something you want to try out, do talk with your partner. So there are several reasons why someone you would use a cock ring. One being, obviously, the ejaculating too quickly, which is number 5 on the list. Number 1 was to help and keep an erection, maintain longer and hotter erections, and longer the penis, aid in the early, prolonging the ejaculation, because there are some men out there who get excited and they're done in a minute. You want to enjoy that time to time on top, while others don't let everything. But there are 2 of you in that sex act, so remember that. And both of you should be enjoying it, of course. If that is not what the play is for the evening and dominance is, well, there's your answer. Now, number 5 is the most common reason why a cock ring or penis ring, whatever you want to call it, is used. So that's where we're going to go with that one. Now, what does a cock ring actually do? Actually, the short version is it constricts the blood flow in the shaft of the penis, so which allows your male counterpart to keep their erection longer. It's kind of sort of sounds weird, sounds probably painful, but it's cutting off that blood circulation, so the penis actually doesn't have a way to basically go down really, fast. It's keeping it almost like in a gorge. You know what I mean? Think of it as a dam keeping most of the water back. And that's basically what it is. You're holding back the blood. So there is an interesting fact to this. And this is actually a rumor that Chinese nobility used goat eyelids to help maintain longer erections to service their several brides and produce more heirs. Okay, little gross, interesting topic or fact. Let's get that image out of our heads. That one went down mine the wrong way. And probably every guy listening probably cringed a bit there. And I do not blame you. So, remember, we're here to please our partners, both sides of that sex act. And men, if you are not keeping up with a woman or a man partner who has got more stamina than you and can last longer, something is terribly off. So you want to be able to be there and please your partner. So do it for them and try it. If you don't like it, tell them. Try other ways. Try different things. Now I know the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is Viagra, but be very careful with taking medication like that, which it has been on the market for some time, but it does cause heart attacks if I'm not mistaken. So you might want to really be wary on what you try. Now, okay, first you got to do some manscaping. Yeah, and it rips your hair, your pubic hair, so you are not going to be happy. So, it's true. And they do say to shave, because this is an area of sensitivity. So we don't want it to grab. And it's going, practice putting it on and taking it off in the beginning, because it does go around your penis and your scrotum, your balls, whatever you want to call them, your sack. I don't care. But you have to feel comfortable wearing it. There are different types. I believe there are ones that just look like a rubber ring. There are leather straps, which actually you can adjust. So be aware, find one that is comfortable for you. But in the beginning, do some manscaping, tidy up the place, and practice putting it on and taking it off, because you don't want to be in pain, and your partner doesn't want you to be in pain when you're wearing this. You want to be able to enjoy it and get what you need from it, because remember, it is for pleasure. It is a sex toy. The next thing is apply some lubricant, please. And generally a water base is the best, because, it is that water-based, more soluble, and better for your body and to clean up. This allows the lubrication, like with anything, makes things go on a bit easier and easier to take off, and basically will stop chafing, which you do not want down in the nether regions. So get some lubrication in there and put it on you. Although lubrication has a twofold there. You're using it for that, you may as well just rub it all up and use it on your partner. So there you go. The next, decide where to wear it. Now this is where I was talking about how you're going to wear it. You can either wear it around the head of the penis, around the base of the penis, or around the base. So this also will give you the opportunity for where you wear it to see what the effect is with regard to your erection. It's, finding out if it's easier to have that erection or a semi-erect penis, depending on where you put it and the effect that you want to have. If the first time you want to use it is just around the head, do that. And this way your, all the sensitivity will be there. But you can still control what's actually going to be happening there. It might be too sensitive just around the head of your penis. Move it on down the base. Go right down the shaft of the penis and put it right at the base. Try it that way. Still leaves the balls a dangling and they're not restricted. So try it that way. And if you, find that, okay, well that works and you want to try it a little differently, move it down even further around the testicles and the base. You may enjoy that. Change it up a bit. See what different effects work for you and where you like to wear it most comfortably. But again, do use lubrication. We want no yellers in the group and anybody complaining that they are in pain the whole entire time. Remember, this is a pleasurable piece to use in sex. So you really, and one way to possibly try it out to see how you like it is put it on and jerk off, because you're going to find out how you feel at that point in time. We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we will finish up with our cock rings and how to use them, where to buy them, and all that good stuff like that, or whatever comes up in the conversation. So get that snack, get that drink, come back, get relaxed, and we'll continue our sex talk after the break.
You really can't underestimate the importance of having the right creative work for your brand or your product. Whether it's a logo, a website, a book cover, or an ad campaign, you really need a quality design to make that big difference pop and deliver your overall engagement and success in a competitive market. That's where Design Crowd comes in. Design Crowd has over 750,000 designers from Sydney to San Francisco ready to help you with awesome creative ideas. They make crowdsourcing work for you. So if you need a logo or you're working on your creative branding, you can go to designcrowd.com and post a brief describing the design you need. And then within about 2 to 7 days, you'll receive up to over 100 different designs from designers around the world. Then you pick the best design and approve payment to the designer. So you're only paying for the design that you want. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of freelancing and out of crowdsourcing. And you don't have to be a huge company like Harvard Business School to use Design Crowd, although they have used it as well. You can start a project on Design Crowd for as little as $99. And if you go right now to designcrowd.com/health and wellness or enter the promo code health and wellness on their website, then our health and wellness listeners will receive up to $150 off of your design project. That's designcrowd.com/health and wellness or entering that promo code health and wellness.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.
Welcome to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network with your host, Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, welcome back, my horny little devils, where we are talking about sex toys, particularly penis rings or cock rings, as they're most commonly known. Now, we're going to continue and go right in to what kind of styles of cock rings are there? Now, there are several types, believe it or not. Hey, we have to have a variety in everything we do, because if there is no variety, it definitely isn't any fun. And I'm assured we have all figured that one out. Now, the first style is stretchy rings. They are easier to find and easier to remove, but, they generally have difficulties with the perfect fit because they're either too tight or too loose. And obviously with all stretchy things, they do stretch out and lose their shape. So you might want to kind of sort of think about that, but if that's kind of like more than your prerogative to go and get one. Next kind are the adjustable cock rings. Now, there are different types of adjustable cock rings. There's the D-ring, Velcro, snaps, or lasso attachments. It helps to keep them in place. So those are really nice, and those are generally the most popular because they're generally easier to accommodate for fit, and you can loosen or tighten to what is comfortable to what you like. So there's always good with having some wiggle room. No pun intended. Haha. But these are a little more expensive, but they are very good for beginners because it allows you to experiment and at the same time figure out how tight or how loose you like it, where it would fit and accommodate the best for you so that you can go out and get a more stationary cock ring per se, where there is no adjusting on it at all. Next kind on our list are the solid cock rings. These are generally made of metal. However, there are various other materials that they are made of. They provide a more firmer grip. And, there are usually add-ons that come along with those, and people, kind of like those. However, they are harder to take off, so if you are a beginner, do be wary. Again, go with the adjustable to try it out, because you don't want to hurt your third leg. Your penis is your friend, and it's a lot of other people's friends as well. So you don't want to hurt them, you want to make them happy. Now, another kind of cock ring out there, of course, with every sex toy that's out there, is vibrating rings. Okay? They come in either adjustable or stretchy. And generally, the vibrator is attached to them. It does add some extra sensation there. And there are some men out there who really like those. It has a double effect to it. One gives the extra sensation to the man, but also gives it to the woman. but you really have to find one that is going to not be uncomfortable when thrusting in and out of your partner's vagina or anus. You want something that's going to be pleasurable for them and most of all comfortable as well for not only you but your partner. Now, the last kind we have here is the strap-ons. Now, with the strap-ons, you're adding on an extra third leg. Giving a little bit of extra penis below, yours. Whereas you can accommodate both holes on the female. And you're okay. You're pleasing them and you're getting pleased as well. So it's double the pleasure for a female, and it is simultaneously, so there's a plus there as well. Now, when you're buying that cock ring, you want to look for a material, a good material that it's made out of, and something that is not going to irritate your penis or your testicles or anywhere down there. Because remember, that is also uncomfortable, I'm assured. If it's anything like a female, well, I'm assured you are uncomfortable as well. So now, the key here is having non-porous material. Okay? Generally finding like the medical grade silicone or stainless steels are generally your best option. Although they sound a little hard, they are your best option. Now, the rubber, or more technically referred to as the TPE/TPR, although not toxic, it is porous, but then again, your body produces its own fluids, and those will mix in with that, and the rubber may just deteriorate off, or you will get irritated by it. So better not to really go with that one, because we don't want you uncomfortable, we don't want you irritated, and any side effect to that effect, but pleasure only. They do have had, some stone ones. There are a few ones that are made out of wood. I've never seen them, but apparently they are there. Nowadays, they are making them out of everything, and the realism of sex toys today is a miracle, and quite interesting, by the way. So, it is something you might want to think about. When it comes to those particular materials of the cock ring, you still need to look for the non-porous, because those do have to have some finish put on to them. Because go ahead and put the wood one on without any finish on it. Can I say, ow? Splinters? Yuck. And don't want you to be, uncomfortable. Okay? There are others that are made out of glass. Obviously, glass. Right there is the dead giveaway. Although, you do need to be careful with it, because if it breaks, not a good outcome. And, one big thing is really avoid jelly ones, because they are very toxic. Again, don't want you to be have any ill effect. The whole idea here is pleasure, people. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure for you, for your partner, having fun with sex, finding different ways to keep it up longer, being able to sustain that erection, and not ejaculating too quickly. So there is the whole purpose here. They offer fun, you and your partner. We are going to take another break here. And when we come back and finish out the show, we will finish with how to fit a cock ring, and possibly some other topics that will be touched on, like the inflatable dolls that are out there now, and or the realistic dolls that are being made now, which are actually at some points you really don't need another partner. That could be your silent partner. But go replenish that drink, replenish that snack, come back, get comfortable again, and I'll be back with more sex talk.
You really can't underestimate the importance of having the right creative work for your brand or your product. Whether it's a logo, a website, a book cover, or an ad campaign, you really need a quality design to make that big difference pop and deliver your overall engagement and success in a competitive market. That's where Design Crowd comes in. Design Crowd has over 750,000 designers from Sydney to San Francisco ready to help you with awesome creative ideas. They make crowdsourcing work for you. So if you need a logo or you're working on your creative branding, you can go to designcrowd.com and post a brief describing the design you need. And then within about 2 to 7 days, you'll receive up to over 100 different designs from designers around the world. Then you pick the best design and approve payment to the designer. So you're only paying for the design that you want. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of freelancing and out of crowdsourcing. And you don't have to be a huge company like Harvard Business School to use Design Crowd, although they have used it as well. You can start a project on Design Crowd for as little as $99. And if you go right now to designcrowd.com/health and wellness or enter the promo code health and wellness on their website, then our health and wellness listeners will receive up to $150 off of your design project. That's designcrowd.com/health and wellness or entering that promo code health and wellness.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, welcome back for the final portion of our show. My show, actually. I know you're out there, my honey little devils. Let's finish out with our cock rings. You know, and fitting is such an important thing with anything that the same goes for a cock ring. So, guys, you're gonna have to whip that little bad boy out, whack it on the table, or just place it there, whichever you prefer. Some like it rough. and measure it up. Now, this is probably the only time where measuring you would be appropriate and not a competition. So measure up the diameter and the circumference of that penis of yours, your best friend in your pants. And you are going to need to know this, to know what route would be the best for you. And it's not, if you're getting an adjustable cock ring, obviously you've got some wiggle room. However, if you're going for that stationary little bad boy, you're going to need to know size, diameter, and circumference of your little friend there. So don't think of this as bragging rights, because there is nobody to measure up against but the person receiving its full thrust. So, method number 1. You're going to take out a measuring tape. Yay! Get the circumference, like I said. It has to be erect, so you get the proper size. So, because we're going to measure the base of your penis. So, you want to kind of sort of work them and get them up. So this is going to require a little fun in there and probably a little masturbation or just damn near thinking about it. Because you want to get the right fix. And if he's down, he is not the proper size. So you don't want to play around with that. If it's much more easier for you when you're in the middle or in the act of having sex and the two of you are talking about it, you and your partner, make it fun. Let her measure it up. And you're going to get something out of it later anyway. So, and then you could have a good, fun chuckle or wow out of that. Now, if you're going to wear it around your testicles and your penis, you might want to measure the whole area. Because so far, this is the first time you're using a cock ring, you're going to experiment to see where you like it to be. So, now method 2 on our list. If you don't have a measuring tape, which 99.99% of men do, but nowadays, ladies, whip out yours. Get it from the sewing kit or get it from the toolbox, one or the other. Pull it, without it, we don't really need it because technically they're probably looking at the inches on that bad boy when they are erect. Get a piece of string, works the same, or something that you can measure it by. But don't go too tight with it. You want it snug enough to maintain the measurement, but you don't want it too tight because you get that cock ring that's too tight, it's going to dig. It's going to be uncomfortable. And this is not what we're going for, okay? And measure it with a marker. You can use a regular ruler for this. It's not, rocket science here, but it does need to be erect. So, like I said, make it fun. Do it before you get into sex and you're sitting there running around and it's a flapping in the wind. And you need to, with this and with anything you measure, do it at least 2 or 3 times. Because who's to say that penis is still getting erect and growing longer? So you want to measure a couple of times in there and make sure the numbers are pretty damn accurate. Again, this is a comfort in a very sensitive part of the body. measuring like the base of a fake penis is not going to help. So put the dildo away. It's got to be on him. And 10 to 1, they're not going to care because they like it when you measure it. And they'll be more than welcome to give it to you. So, and basically, you know, it has to be comfortable. I mean, really. It just has to be. Because comfort's a big thing for you and your partner during sex. You don't want to be in the middle of sex and you've gotten something a little too small. It's on you. Your penis is, the blood is being constricted in your penis is, really, really hard. You want comfort there. You want a little wiggle room. So let's do this upright. Now, after you get all those numbers, that circumference and that diameter, into diameter. Little math here. All right, little math that needs to be done here. I think you can handle it. You take the final measurement, and then if you're doing 3, you're gonna take the average and then divide it by pi. Believe it or not, 3.14. Okay, so there you go with your measurement for your cock ring. Now go into the store and go shopping. The both of you. Have some fun with it. There are different things. Go online. It's better to go into a sex store, at least for the first time, because one, you can feel, touch, read, ask the clerk about it, how they feel about it. They should know their product. Either they've tried it or they've gotten feedback. So it's always good to do that, because some of these things, these rings are not, not forgivable and probably will not stretch. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard, especially if you get a solid ring. So you need to work with it here and you need to be comfortable. Now, believe it or not, there is a website called Love Honey. They actually have measurement calculators, which is really cool. And also All Night, which is actually spelled ALLKNIGH, has a calculator as well. So if you want to try the both of them, do try them, okay? Now, you need to consider the thickness of the ring, which is always good, the tension of the ring, and, there are a lot of safety tips when you're first getting them for beginners. Do not keep it up for too long. Give breaks in between. 5 to 10 minutes at a time usually works. For anyone, generally the maximum amount of time is 20 minutes. Do not have prolonged wear of it because then your blood will coagulate. You don't want that. It will cause permanent damage to our friend, the penis, and we don't want that. It also will cause clotting disorders. Not very, very good. So if you experience extreme swelling, tingling, pain, do take it off. That is a Danger Will Robinson event. Okay? So remember, this is all fun. There are many others in many sites to look, but for your first one, do go into a store. There are a lot of them out there. You can ask questions. You can see the samples. You can see the displays. Most likely the clerk will take them out for you, and you can discuss it with them. They should know their product. But this is all in fun, and I'm a little depressed that my time has come, and I'm going to talk about sex dolls, inflatable, realistic, bionic. So, guess what our topic will be for next time? We are gonna talk about sex dolls. But for right now, that is my show. And I thank you for tuning in again. And as always, practice safe sex. If not for you, for your partner. And always, always have fun. There's always new things out there to try. But be safe when doing so. So until next time, this is your host, Andra, saying bye-bye for now.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From sex and relationships to health and wellness, life and happiness, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast.